Hey guys, I'm Edward with Everything Kayak and Bicycle. Today here we have, if you don't know, the GOAT, Aaron Clay. Aaron fishes on the Hobie team out of the shop here and has had a lot of success and a lot of fun offshore. And we're gonna have Aaron run through some of the setups of kind of the way he's figured out what we're doing, and those of us over here that have been fishing it, what we're doing for the offshore scene over in Navarre, Florida Panhandle. It's going to be kind of a three-part series, and the first one we're going to touch in today is making bait. So Aaron's going to jump in, and we're going to talk about options and what we're getting into for rod and reel options, and just how's it working, what we're doing. So what you got here, Clay, for making bait?
All right, so what I got here is 3000 series spinning reel, inshore rod. You know, this is pretty much your normal setup for this. We're running sabikis. We're doing size 4 to size 8. Running a 2-ounce pyramid sinker. And basically the instructions are on the back of the pack. You just tie it up and pull it out of the pack, and there you go. So, you know, we get out there, we make bait for a little while, get a few dozen baits, and load them up and be ready to go. Normally when I leave the area for sabikiing, I'll tie on one of these babies.
So what are we throwing this at?
So
we're casting this.
Yeah, we're casting this. We're throwing at anything we see busting top of the water.
Okay.
The water looks different. We're throwing at it because it's probably bait up underneath of it. Just anything we see. Or we're just free throwing it and bringing it back in fast as we can.
And before we do that on the rods, so you said inshore rod, but they make sabiki rods, right?
Yeah. The sabiki rod is going to be a dedicated rod. You're not going to switch it out. You're going to tie your sabiki on there, and that's just an extra rod you're going to be carrying throughout the day. When we go with the spinning setups, like I said, then we can change it out and we can start throwing smaller jigs and other stuff if we see other stuff. So it's another option, but it's more rods you got to take with you. I like to stay minimal on offshore.
Yeah, I mean, I did the trial with sabiki. I did enjoy it, but they got no enough rod holders.
Right.
And I know I'm usually pushing 3,000. I know some guys use up to 4,000, stuff like that.
Yep.
Which is more than enough for pitch baits. And I run same setup. Inshore, medium, heavy, 7-foot stick. Let me knock that down.
Yep.
I switch back and forth.
Yeah, man.
So,
I mean, that's the way to do it.
What I know I'm usually ranging. I'll start about 20 feet. And I'll push all the way out to 50 feet looking for bait.
All right, so I'm strictly going to be looking at the fish finder to start.
Okay.
Soon as I hit 6 foot of water, I'm staring at the fish finder. We can find bait anywhere from 10 foot to 50 feet.
Yep.
I mean, if I'm not marking or whatever, I'm normally stopping right around the 20-foot mark and just start sabikiing there. The schools run through, so you know sometimes we'll sit there 5 minutes before we start catching bait, 10 minutes before we start catching bait, and then you may catch bait for 15 minutes and then go through a small lull and then they'll come back. So you know you fill it out right after the sandbars.
Yeah.
Basically what we're looking at.
I know I'm going to start off, I'm going to send it down. That pyramid lead, I'm going to hit the sand. I'm going to give it a couple pops, get that sand poofing up, try and get some attention.
Yep.
I know a lot of guys will drag them, slow jig them, run them up, run them down,
so
stick them.
So what I find out, it's different from day to day. Some days they want it, a hard jig, jig it anywhere from 6 inches to 1.5 foot. And then other times they just want a dead stick and they just want it sitting still. So I mean, it just all depends on how it's going that day.
Absolutely.
It's just something, you fill out as you're going.
Right, and that's again, we're calling it making bait. It's still fishing.
Yep.
So it's still
exactly.
It's still day-to-day changes. So guys, that's kind of a quick touch on what we just call making bait, and that's just we're going to be catching live bait, natural bait out of the breakers to use throughout the day, whether it's reef dropping or trolling.
Yep.
So thanks, Aaron.
All right, appreciate it.
Cheers, man.
Thanks.